Oh my god, okay, sorry, I put it wrong.
Hello and welcome. I'm Zoe Knox, and you're watching Sports News. Today we're going to talk about unusual sports. So we have different kinds of unusual sports, but I don't really know that much. So today we're going to learn something about them. We're going to learn some unusual sports and how do you play them. So are you ready? Because I am. So let's start this. The first up is Bob Barnard. He's going to have an interesting unusual sport. I think it's fun and maybe you can try it at home. You'll see.
Here I am, live from Finland, where I'm following a typical sport from this country, wife carrying. The people do this sport in lots of other countries such as Australia, the USA, the UK, Estonia and Sweden. Of course, the World Championship is taking place in Finland since 1992. Rules aren't difficult. The aim of the sport is that a man has to carry a wife across harsh terrain to the finish. The track is 253.5 meters long. It consists of dry and wet obstacles. Wet is a small pool that is approximately 1 meter deep. If a woman weighs less than 49 kilograms, they will give the man a backpack to carry so that he carries 49 kilograms. Sometimes this sport can be dangerous, mainly for the wife, who is hanging head down on the man. That's why they can wear a helmet. It is interesting that the couple do not have to be married to each other. The man can borrow his neighbor's wife for this competition. These were some elementary rules. In different countries, the rules can be different. Awards can be different too. But at the World Championship, it's always the wife weight in beer. Cheers!
Okay, Bob, I need to say this was an interesting one. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I could try it sometime. I don't know. It sounds crazy. Okay, let's move on. So the next person we're gonna have, who's gonna talk about their unusual sport, is Yulia Yorcheva. So she has a sport that is really weird. I don't know how they made it up, but yeah, it's a sport. So Yulia, you can start.
Hello, hello. Here's Julia, and I'm in sunny Australia. I'm in middle of Dunny Derby. I'm sitting right here, right now, in Big Dunny, and I'm so excited. In my team, there are 5 people: me, Joe, Robert, Collie, and Lucas. They are running as fast as they can. So, this very unusual sport is played like this. One person is sitting on a throne in Dunny. That's me. 2 runners are pushing the dunny, and 2 other runners are pulling the dunny. But the dunny is very special. Every dunny has wheels. The race is about 200 meters long, and on a track there are a few things, and a team has to stop and pick up a toilet roll or toilet brush. There is competition for fastest dunny and competition for best looking dunny. For now, it's everything. Back to Zoe.
Thank you so much, Yulia Yorcheva. Your sport was I no, first of all, I thought it's going to be really weird, but I don't know why, but I think it sounds fun. Do you think it sounds fun? Because I think so. Okay, let's move on. So next up is Trixie Seattle. She's going to talk about I would say an interesting unusual sport. So let's see what it's all about.
Hi, my name is Trixie Seattle, and I am currently attending an elephant polo tournament in Megali, Nepal. And today, I will be talking to you about this interesting variant of polo. Elephant polo is a variant of polo played while riding elephants. The sport of elephant polo has been around since the British first went to India and Nepal and adapted the horseback game to use elephants. The rules of the game are similar to horse polo, although played at a much slower pace with 4 elephants on each side. Each elephant is steered by an expert mahout, which leaves the player to concentrate on the game. Despite the mahouts controlling the elephants, most games have accidents, which include elephants running away with sticks, stomping on balls, which can take minutes to dig out, and generally taking the game over among themselves. The equipment used in elephant polo consists of a standard polo ball and a 6 to 10 foot cane stick with a polo mallet at the end. The pitch is 3/4 of the length of the standard polo pitch due to the lower speed of the elephants. Elephant polo is a popular sport in Nepal, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand.
Thank you so much, Trixie Seattle. It was a really interesting sport. I think it's a really royal sport. So yeah, let's move on. So next up is Sofia Gutowski. Her sport is really crazy and kind of hard, I think so. So let's move on.
I'm Sophia Gutowski. As you can see, I'm in London at the River Thames. So the unusual sport I'm going to talk about is underwater hockey. It's a collective sport which you obviously play in a pool. It's a combination of ice hockey and diving. So this is how you play it. You have 2 groups. Each group has 6 players. The point of the game is to get the puck into the net by using only a hockey stick. You need to have a puck which doesn't float. I think it's a really cool game, but it isn't that easy. You need to be underwater for a long period of time. I don't think I could do it. Let's leave the sport for the experts. And this was the unusual sport I talked about. Thank you so much, and back to Zoe.
Thank you so much, Sofia Gutowski. Your sport was, I think, a really cool one, but as you said, I think a really hard one. I think I couldn't do that long period of time underwater either, so let's move on. Next up is Nate Wallet. His unusual sport is going to be kind of yummy because that food that's giving the sport, I'm spoiling a little bit, is going to be one of my favorite foods. So let's see what it's all about.
Hi. Right now, I'm on the Cooper's Hill in England. Today, there is big cheese rolling competition. Cheese is rolled from the top of the hill and then people are running down. First person crossing the finish line is the winner. Prize is of course cheese. Originally, people had to catch the cheese, but it was so hard and dangerous, so they changed rules. I am a big cheese lover, so if I could, I would eat all the cheese here. Let's see who wins today.
Thank you so much, Nate Wallet. Your sport was hard and yummy at the same time. So let's move on. Next up is Lyndon Odell. His sport is, how would I describe it in one word? Again, basic, I think, because his sport is going to be, how would I say it? It's like a basic thing that a mother does in their home, but turned into a next level called unusual sport. So let's see what it's all about.
Hello, my name is Linda Nudell, and at the moment, I am on Athabasca Glacier in Canada. Today, I will be talking to you about extreme ironing, which is the sport that I'm currently doing. Extreme ironing is an outdoor sport that combines the danger and excitement of an extreme sport with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt. It involves taking an ironing board to remote locations and ironing a few items of laundry. It was invented by Tony Hallam in 1980, inspired by his brother John, who ironed his clothes even when camping in a tent. Tony illustrated the uselessness of unnecessary ironing by doing it in bizarre situations such as while parachuting, snowboarding, skiing, while on a canoe, on mountains, statues, in caves, underwater, or on glaciers, like me. Ah, yes, the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt.
Thank you so much, London Odell. So one thing I would say about the sport is I would never think this is a sport. So yeah, let's move on. So next up is Lillian Samantha. Sport is going to be another weird one, but yeah, interesting and weird. And I would never think this is a sport because it kind of sounds childish, I would say. So let's see what it's all about.
Konnichiwa from Japan. I'm going to tell you something about the sport that has long-standing tradition here. Kyoto-si. It is part of a Japanese festival. It takes place every 6 years in the years of Monkey and the Tiger, and it's all about trees. 16 fir trees, 17 to 19 meters tall, are chosen that can weigh up to 12 tons each. Before the event, the firs are cut down and also the branches are cut so that the surface of the tree is smooth. The ropes are attached to the trees. The ropes are used for pulling the log down the hill. The log is sliding over uneven ground done very fast. This may not sound so exciting, but there are actually people sitting on the log. These young men who are riding the log are trying to prove their braveness. This festival is known as the most dangerous in Japan. Deaths have occurred at most of these events. Some people drowned when the log was pulled across a river. Also, many people got hurt and some died when the log slid down the slope. The next event is going to be held in 2022. Nara.
Thank you so much, Lily and Samantha. The only thing I'm going to say about your sport is that it is interesting. And that's everything. Let's move on. So next up is Malaya Sierra. So her sport is going to be, I'm going to just say it, it's going to be really, really disgusting. I would never do this unusual sport, but maybe you would do, but me personally, I would never. So let's see how you play it and what's the point of the game.
Hello, I'm in London. I'm part of the biggest competition in earthworm charming. There are teams of 3 people. They have to collect as many worms as they can, but they can collect worms only on 1 square meter and have 15 minutes to do it. Earthworms, which they caught, can be used for fishing. Every year it's still same field where it's the competition, but earthworms are new. Let me tell, I don't know how these people are doing this. Holding worms in their hands, I think it's disgusting. And now, back to Zoe.
Thank you so much, Malia Sierra. Your sport was, how I said it already, disgusting. Sorry, but I just don't have any words for it. So let's please move on. So next up is Winifred. So his sport is going to be a sport that you probably already know. I think it's a famous sport, but still it is unusual. Because you just know it from a film, or some of you from a book. But I never thought you really can play it like in real life. So let's learn more.
Hello, my name is Winifred Atkinson, and I am currently attending the Quidditch World Cup in Italy. Today, I will be talking to you about Muggle Quidditch. Quidditch is a sport that was invented and first mentioned by author J.K. Rowling in her Harry Potter novel series as a popular sport played among wizards. Based on this fictional sport, in 2005 in Middlebury, Vermont, people invented a sport named Muggle Quidditch. This sport doesn't include any enchanted balls or flying broomsticks, but its rules are pretty similar to the original. The game starts with 6 of the starting players lined along the starting line within their keeper zone, with their brooms on the ground and the 4 balls lined in the center of the pitch, excluding the seekers who joined the match 18 minutes after it started. When the chasers score with a volleyball, which in this game is the ball in a quaffle, they receive 10 points, but then they have to pass the quaffle to the keeper of the other team. The beaters don't have bats, but they can use their hands to throw bludgers, which in this case are dodgeballs at other players. If a player is hit by a bludger, they suffer the knockout effect. This means they have to dismount their broomsticks, drop any ball they might have been carrying, and touch their team's hoops before resuming play. 18 minutes of the match passed, and it's time for the Seekers to go chase after the golden snitch. Snitch is a tennis ball at the bottom of a long yellow pouch attached to the shorts of the snitch runner. The snitch runner may do everything in their power to stop the Seekers from catching the snitch. But if the snitch isn't caught in a certain amount of time, a series of handicaps go into effect against the snitch runner to limit his freedom of movement. The game ends when one of the Seekers grab the snitch, awarding their team 30 points. The team with the most points wins.
Thank you so much, Winifred. Your sport, I didn't know you can play in real life. You learn new things every day. So let's move on. Next up is Sierra Nadesha. Her sport is going to be maybe a relaxing one. I'm not really sure, but you use one of your favorite things you have at your home and you see what it is soon. So what is it all about? Let's see.
Hello folks, I'm live at Castle Knaresborough in the UK. Today there is a bed race here. All people are excited. This competition takes place every year since 1966. As always, there are exactly 90 teams. Teams consist of 6 runners and 1 passenger. Runners have to be fit and passengers have to be good swimmers, and mainly they should be light. That's why the passengers are usually children. Altogether, 6,040 people participate in the race. On the race day in the morning, teams meet at the castle and the best decorated bed is awarded. At lunchtime, the teams march through the city. During the march, bands play and people dance. Then the costumes and decorations are taken away. The teams prepare for the race itself. The road is difficult and hard. It is 2.4 kilometers long. Teams have to climb up a steep slope and also cross the more complicated terrain. Finally, they come to the most difficult and the most famous part of the road. They have to swim 20 meters across a fast-flowing river. The flow flips lots of beds. The fastest teams finish the race in approximately 14 minutes, the slowest one in half an hour. Have a nice day and enjoy the bed race.
Thank you so much, Sarah Nadesha. I didn't know this kind of sport existed. It's interesting to find out that there are a lot of unusual sports in this world. So this is the end of our sports news. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned some new things because I need to say I learned some new stuff I didn't know existed. And yeah, I'm really surprised there are a lot of interesting things in this world. So thank you for watching and bye. And I hope you have a nice, lovely rest of the day.
This is the end.